How's it going, and welcome back to the Marvel Snap video here on YouTube. Today I'm going to answer the question that I, as a card game content creator, get asked essentially every time I showcase any new card game. Jeff, how much does this card game cost to be competitive? How long is it going to take me playing to acquire cards? Rather than bury the lead, I'm just going to tell you what those numbers are up front, both the free to play metric for getting all of the cards, as well as the spending to play metric to getting all of the cards. I really appreciate it if everybody could watch the entire video to walk through the breakdown and give me some YouTube watch time, because I did spend a lot of time working on this. But to not bury the lead any further, by my calculations, based on the 168 cards currently available in Marvel Snap when I record this video, it takes a little bit over 2 months while spending the maximum amount of money you can spend in Marvel Snap to get a full collection. And it takes a little over 7 months completely free to play without spending a single dollar to acquire every single one of the 168 cards. Now, you heard that right. Marvel Snap is kind of unique in how its card acquisition works, is that even if you are spending as much money as you humanly can on Marvel Snap, they time gate how quickly you can turn your premium currency into their credit system that allows you to upgrade cards and get new cards through their system. So even if you are a whale like myself spending money, you can't just skip all of it. You have to be playing a bunch of Marvel Snap, and not even just spending. Spending just gets you the credits faster to upgrade cards. You still have to be playing a bunch to earn the boosters, which you can't quite directly purchase. There's an asterisk there, but we'll go over that in a minute. Let's jump into the details of how this works and why it was so convoluted to calculate exactly what these metrics were. For those that aren't familiar, before we take a look at the client here, mobile games tend to do this thing where, one, they give you a lot of stuff really early quickly to make you feel like you're building a lot of progress, and they slow that progress down, both because they don't have infinite content, but also because once a player's kind of initiated into the game, they're willing to grind more to get things because they like the game at that point. So they don't need constant rewards because playing the game is its own reward. And Marvel Snap leans into this very heavily here. To show you the client, when you first start at level 1, the account level is currently how you get most cards. At almost every level, and then 2 levels here along the track, you get a bunch of cards. But this changes very quickly here. When we go from 14 to 18, you start getting credits and these boosters, which help you level your cards up in between these things. And then the cards themselves, you can see still cards pretty regularly here, they start to spread out. And by start to spread out, I mean they spread out a lot at the end here. So I'm currently account level 1456. And you can see here, Invisible Woman was the card that I just got here at 1434. And the next mystery card I will get isn't until 1482. And this is actually the last card at this junction. After 1482, it stretches out with a bunch of random stuff in between, where you only start getting cards every 96 levels at that point. So all the gunk in the middle is what really makes it kind of hard to compute exactly what things cost. So enter my friend in math videos, the spreadsheet. Thank you, Google Docs. So there's a couple of parts to the spreadsheet. I'm going to go through them in piecemeal and talk through where the calculations come from. To start with, there are daily credits that you get every single day. So there are 550 missions worth of credits that you can get every single day if you're playing regularly. And then if you log into the shop, there's 50 credits in the shop you can just click claim on every 24 hours. Past that, you can collect 200 weekly gold plus 650 additional credits inside of completing your daily missions every week. And if we convert that 200 gold into credits, it's 250 credits. 400 gold is 500 credits. This means if we're taking everything we get weekly, including the gold, and turning it into credits, in Marvel Snap, you can acquire 5,100 credits per week. Similarly, Marvel Snap has a monthly pass that has a premium track with some extra cosmetics and a direct card reward on it, but it also has a free track that has a little bit of gold and a whole lot of credits in it. In fact, if you convert the gold in the pass to credits as well, you will also be getting about 2,500 credits per month from this. This means the total amount of credits your Marvel Snap account can get in a single calendar month here is 22,875. Now, how do credits translate into account levels is the next question. At the base level, 50 credits turns into 1 account level, which means that this 22,000 and some change credits means free-to-play players can earn approximately 507 account levels per month. Now, there's an asterisk next to this number, which is because when you upgrade a card for the very first time, instead of it being 50 credits to get just that first level off of a new card you're upgrading, it's only 25 credits. So you get 1 discounted level on every single card that you upgrade, which is what these calculations you see here, calculating how many cards you get through various levels and how many effective extra levels you get from the fact that just that 1 first level is discounted. Now, I mentioned they gate how much you can spend per day in Marvel Snap as well. So if you are maxing out your spending in Marvel Snap, it will cost you approximately if you're maxing out your spending in Marvel Snap, you can get approximately 1,080 extra levels per month from spending money. So about twice as much as you get from free to play. And the dollar amount to calculate this 1,080 extra levels is 100 USD, turns into approximately 200 extra levels, which means if you're max spending to accelerate in Marvel Snap, it's going to cost you approximately $550 a month for that 2.3 months. You can see down here for the total spending months to get to the maximum level to get every card currently in the game, which is about level 4650. Now, progression credits over here. These calculations are a complete and total mess and disaster here. I've essentially gone through and looked at the pattern of what credits and eventually mystery boxes that turn into a mix of credits, gold, and variants. And obviously the mystery boxes I had to take an average of, but these are effectively how many extra credits you get from the progression track when you're going through all of these levels. And then it gets a little bit cleaner because from 954 to 1482, it follows the same 48 level pattern. And then from 1482 through the 4650, which is about the highest level you can get at this point, it also follows another pattern. So to give a clean example here, for every 48 levels you earn in this range, there are effectively 10 free levels worth of credits that you get. So it's not really 48 levels you're earning between cards at this stage. It's 38 because every 38 comes with 10 for free, essentially. And similarly, instead of it being 96, every 96 come with 22 effectively for free. So you really only need 74 levels in this range. So when we put all of this together, there's 168 cards in the game. You need account level 4650 to get all of those cards. There are 995 free levels approximately in terms of credits from all of these progress credits, plus all of these effective extra levels being calculated from you getting that first level at a half discount, which gets us to this. You need to earn approximately 3655 levels to max your account currently, which turns into 7.2 months if you're not spending, based on this getting 507 levels per month, or 2.3 months if you're spending the maximum amount. And obviously, if you're not spending that maximum 550 and you're putting $100 in or less than that here or there, this ratio of how quickly you're going to accelerate the 7.2 down to 2.3 will be variable depending on how much money you are putting in. So, did you follow that? I think I tried to break it down as best we can. I know there's a lot of numbers here. I tried to group them as best that I could. I'd like to close with some thoughts and some clarity for people that aren't familiar. I think the one really valid critique of this whole system is definitely one I've given as well. This says mystery card. So if you haven't engaged with Marvel Snap before, you don't get to choose what card you get in this slot. And there's a whole bunch of cards you can get from, right? Like this could be anything from, Mephisto to a Wasp, and the quality on these cards ranges dramatically in how many decks you can build them, and just which cards you want to build with or which characters you like is, there's a big difference between different people, what people want to build. And I think the biggest issue with the Marvel Snap economy in its current form is that it doesn't allow people to acquire the cards that they want directly. I think there's a lot of sweet cards in this game, and I've been enjoying building decks with a lot of them, but it's going to be a holdup for a lot of people, regardless of what the economy looks like and how fast you get through it, if they can't get to the cards that they actually care to play with. A lot of people play card games to, build decks that they're interested in or try and build ideas, and you kind of just have to work with what you have in this game, which is interesting to a degree, and I think presents a unique set of problems within it, but having zero agency in what cards you get is definitely a feel bad to a degree as well. I actually think, looking at the numbers in this game and I say this from the perspective of someone that's put a lot of money into a lot of different card games, the actual card acquisition rate doesn't seem that terrible to me comparing it to other games, because remember, Marvel Snap decks are only 12 cards. You only need one of each card, so it's not like Magic Arena where you're collecting 4 of each mythic plus a mana base plus all this other stuff. So when it sounds like, you're only getting 7 cards per month at the end, it's like, well, 1 or 2 cards could be an entire new deck with the core of other cards that you already have with a unique mix of them. So I think if they added some decent agency to getting the cards that we have, it would actually be probably a pretty reasonable system. Another thing that's worth putting an asterisk on is that anytime the economy and how you get cards comes up in any of the official channels or capacities, someone from Second Dinner, the company that makes this game, likes to mention that they're adding something called Nexus events, where players will be able to spend gold to acquire cards in specific ways, but they also haven't given us any details on that, so it's unclear whether or not these will be other new different cards that we will get through these Nexus events, or if they're going to provide a way for players to target which cards that they want. I think something that would go a long way, while still keeping this mystery card idea, is maybe giving players like 3 or 4 different cards to pick from when they get it. So there's still kind of this loot box random element to it, but people get to pick the range of what they're getting, so it feels like it gives you some agency of what you're doing. They could also give kind of smaller pools where you're like, okay, I want to build the discard archetype, so my next mystery card is going to guaranteed be one of the cards that has to do with this card synergies. And every time your mystery card comes up, you pick from a synergy type or a character type, like you like X-Men or the Spider-Verse, say, okay, I want a random X-Men, or I want a random character from the Spider-Verse, etc. I think there's lots of ways they can allow people to effectively narrow down the range of cards that they want and still give that, oh, I'm excited because I opened something that I wasn't sure what I was getting, but still give people some control and feel like they have agency over what's going on. What are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about the economy in this game so far? Have you been enjoying it? Have you been disliking it? What are your thoughts? What do you think of my calculations? Did you find any mistakes in there? This is not a Groundhog Day video. Some of you will probably say, hey, didn't Jeff post a video similar to this already? And I did, but I missed an important computation that someone pointed out in the comment section, and I really didn't want my old video up there collecting views, putting misinformation out into the world. So rather than have that and just issue a correction later, I took down the original video because I hate being responsible for misinformation, and I'm putting up this correct one, which I've double and triple checked all the metrics, so hopefully there's not any mistakes in it this time. This video's still up, I hope. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble all the way through the end. Remember, if you haven't already, like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I post a lot of Marvel Snap content here a few times per week, a lot of deck highlights and other analytical breakdowns of things related to the game like this. I'd love to know other non-gameplay stuff you'd love to see related to Snap on the channel. I'd love to take a crack at making that, and hopefully see you back again real soon, folks. Thanks for watching, as always.